channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another TBR Bingo video. If you guys don't know what TBR Bingo is, it is a TBR game that I play almost every month where I use a bingo cage to pick a ball, use the number on that ball that correlates to a prompt to pick a book off of my TBR. If you would like, I will leave the playlist for this game in the cards above and in the description box below if you would like to go check out any previous installments of this game. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about how I did in the month of January, and then we'll get into my plans for the month of February. I'm just going to quickly run through the prompts from last month and the books and whether or not I read them. For my TBR jar pull, I picked Gallant by V.E. Schwab, and I read this. For Kindle book, I had The Words by Ashley Jade, and I read that. For Seasonathon, I picked Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and I did read this. For 2021 release, I had Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark, and I read that. For Spicy book, I picked There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark, and I did read this. For a book with a rep, I chose The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew, and I did read this. For bought secondhand, I chose Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and I did read this. Then we had Adult Fantasy, and I picked Jade City by Fonda Lee, and I did read this. For read a sequel, I had Twisted Hate by Anna Huang, and I did read this. For POC author, I chose The Bride Test by Helen Huang, and I did read this. And finally, for the prompt buzzword, I chose Maybe Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm currently in the middle of this one and plan on finishing it before the month is over. So all in all, January was definitely a success. Okay, now let's move on to February. I'm very excited for the month of February. As you guys know, it's Black History Month, so I'm going to do my best to focus on books written by Black authors. Some of them might fall through the cracks here and there, but that's going to be my main focus for this month. If you guys are not already, I highly encourage you and urge you to go support your Black creators here on this platform, and every platform that you are on. Make sure to buy books by Black authors all months, but especially during this month, and just go out there and support your Black-owned businesses and artists and things like that. This is definitely the month to show them some love. You should be doing it all year round, but if you're gonna do it, this is the month to do it. I'm very excited. I'm going to be hopefully supporting some really awesome Black authors this month and reading some really cool books, so I'm really hoping that this month goes well for me. Last year I did really well in just reading so many books in February, so I'm hoping that I will get the same energy that I did last year this year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I am not pulling a TBR jar pull for this month, so we're going to just ignore that and let's get into the dice roll. All right, friends, you know the deal. Let's roll the dice. Hopefully it's nice to me. All right, I cannot roll a 4. Anything under a 5, I have to roll again, so let's just hope the dice likes me enough to not give me a high number. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay, the number is 12. Let's do it. All right, we rolled a 12. Let's see what this game is going to bring to us. Cross our fingers that it's good. And if we get a bingo, I'm pretty sure it's a giveaway this time. So let's see. I'm nervous because we don't have that many balls left. So spin number 1. 26. We are starting off strong, you know? 26 is punishment and we have random prompt times 2. Oh boy. All right, TBR Bingo is not messing around today. Our very first prompt is 26, if that wants to focus, and that is a random prompt timer times 2, which basically means I have to randomize a number on my prompt list. Whatever that prompt is, I have to pick 2 books to fill it. So, yay for me. Okay, I'm screen recording. I will put the stuff on the screen here, but I have a random number generator from 1 to 75. I have all of my prompts right here. I'm going to generate it 3 times because I'm extra like that, and we'll pick that number. So 1, 2, 3. 38. I'm nervous. I'm so scared. 38 is a fantasy. Okay. 2 fantasy books. That's not what I wanted, but it is what it is. Okay, we're not starting off great with Black authors, but I just remembered that I actually have 2 fantasy books that I'm supposed to read this month that are chunky, and I would like to actually get them on a physical TBR so that I don't have to try to squeeze them in later. The first one being Jade War by Fonda Lee, the second book in the Greenbone saga. It's chunky. I'm nervous. I really enjoyed the first book. I'm buddy reading the second book with Karina this month, so I do need to read that one. And then for the month of February, I had a few friends choose some books that they really wanted me to read, and one of the ones that Mel chose for me was The Savior's Champion. I don't remember who the author is. I will put it up on the screen. I don't own it just yet, but I do need to read that one as well, and it is an adult fantasy. So wish me luck. I'm gonna be purchasing those ones soon, so I will have physical copies for the next wrap up, but I'm nervous to say the least. Okie dokie, spin number 2. G47. 47 is 22 in 2022. Spin number 2 got us 47, and for that it is 22 in 2022. But we're just going to change this to 23 in 2023 since we are now in the new year. And one of the books that was on that list is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I definitely need to read this one. My goal was to finish up this series in February because I want to move on to her next series in March. So this is perfect, and I wanted to buddy read this with my friend Karina, so it's working out perfectly. Everything is falling into place. I'm so excited to finish out this series. As you guys know, finishing series is like the next best thing for me right now. So I'm really excited to have this one on here. All I know is this one follows Stella, who is one of the girls in the friend group, and Christian, who we met in the 3rd book in the series. He is the landlord that owns the building that Stella lives in. So I don't know if it's hate to love. I don't even know. I just heard this one is one of the best ones, and I'm very intrigued about Christian's character. So very excited to read this one. It's another chunky book, but I'm pumped for it. Okie dokie, spin number 3. G48. G48 is friend pick. Spin number 3 got us 48, and for that we have a friend pick. Now, like I said, I had a couple of friends pick some books that they wanted me to read, and it's perfect because one of the books that Karina picked was by a Black author, so I'm going to read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I have read 2 Kennedy Ryan books in the past and have absolutely loved them, and so I'm very excited to give this one a go. This is her traditionally published book that is more like women's fiction, I've heard, but it is supposed to be a second chance romance between a man and a woman that got a divorce. They have 2 kids, and something happens, and they are trying to rekindle their marriage. I've heard really good things about this book so far. Karina absolutely loved this one, so I'm very excited to read it. Spin number 4. B2. B2 is a new to me author. Okay, up next we had number 2, and that is a new to me author, and for that I chose Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. This is another book written by a Black author, so I'm keeping the streak going. And this is a book about books, which I love. It's about a girl who doesn't believe in love at all and doesn't really like books, but she ends up inheriting her late grandmother's bookstore. And then the hero is a best-selling romance author, and he is like convinced that he is going to help the heroine fall in love with love and books just in one, and it just sounds like it's going to be so cute and so special, and I'm very excited for it, and hopefully it's amazing. So far so good, but nothing on the board. Spin number 5. I-17. Well, it is what it is. I-17 is TBR jar. Spin number 5 got us 17, and that is TBR jar. I was not going to pull a TBR jar pull this month because it's not updated, and I didn't want to, but the TBR god says you lie. So here we go. I nervy. Wrecked Palace. Wrecked Palace. I think this is by Catherine Cowles, possibly. I'll put it up on the screen. I think it's a romance. I'm intrigued. I can't remember. I think this is one that I own via audiobook, so I'm gonna give it a go. Hopefully I like it. Okay, spin number 6 is N42. All right, we got one on the board, and N42 is a free pick. Spin number 6, we got 42, and for that, that's a free pick. Now, this is not a book written by a Black author. However, I knew I needed to get it on this list because if I didn't, I wasn't going to read it. It's a chunky book. It doesn't have an audiobook, and me and my friend Karina, we are going to be buddy reading this one this month, I hope. I'm nervous, and that is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I'm nervy. I'm really nervous about this one because I've heard really good things. Everybody seems to freaking love this book. However, it has been marketed as a messy romance that doesn't have an HOA at the end of this book, and every messy romance that I have read, I have not enjoyed. So I'm nervous. Hopefully I love it as much as all of the rest of the YouTube and TikTok girlies, but we'll see. Spin number 7. N41. N41 is Goodreads Scroll. Okay, our next spin, we got 41, and that is Goodreads Scroll. So again, I'm going to just record my screen, and I'm going to go on my Goodreads homepage and scroll, and the first book that I own, I'm going to read it. Simple as that. I'm very nervous, by the way. So let's go to our home screen here. Okay. Where is it? How do I do this? People, how do I do this? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. I cannot read I'm Glad My Mom Died. I do own this, but I can't read it because I have plans to read it for another thing, so I'm going to just ignore that one. I don't own any of these. I've never even heard of any of these. From Blood and Ash, I've already read. Addie LaRue I've read. Priest I've read. No. I'm so mad right now. It's Babel by R. Kwong. Okay, fine, whatever, it's fine, everything's fine. I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be a month where I do not read all the books on my list. Are you kidding me? You're kidding, right? Okay, this is a Dark Academia book that I got. I have 2 copies of this. This is in a Fairy Loot edition, gorgeous. I also have an Illumicrate edition of this. It's about translations at Yale, Harvard, fuck if I know. I don't even know. Oxford University. I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's amazing. I actually just finished up a Dark Academia book just the other day, and I really loved it. But I was not expecting to read a chunky book. It's over 500 pages. Send help, okay? Send help. Still doing well. Spin number 8. 074. Another one on the board, and again, one away from a bingo. 074 is blindfold. Our next spin got us 74, and for that we are doing a blindfold pick. So basically, I don't really know how I'm going to do this, but I have a stack of books written by Black authors right here. I'm just going to kind of like shuffle them around, close my eyes, pick a random number based off of what I have here, and what I'm not even going to touch them really. I'm just going to pick a random number, and then I'm going to use that to pick a book. I will close my eyes. I don't have a blindfold, but you're just going to have to trust me. So I'm going to quickly just shuffle these around. I chose some hardcovers and some paperbacks so that it would be like a mix of books that I have options between. So we're just going to, that feels somewhat good. Okay, I didn't know how many there were, so I have to count again. I have to redo them again because I didn't know how many there were before I started shuffling them, and then I had to count them, and we're doing it again. Okay, we're doing it again. Okay, there are 8. My random number is going to be right in the middle, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing Tie the Tether by Jane Agaro. This is a romance book. I know that. It's about a woman who promised her dying father that she would marry somebody that was Nigerian to keep the Nigerian heritage in her family, but she ended up falling in love with a white man, and it is the relationship between the two of them, but also the life stuff that comes along with that. So I'm excited to have this one. I've had it on my TBR for a very long time, so hopefully I love it. Spin number 9. I-23. Another one on the board. I-23 is paranormal book. Okay, up next we have 23, and that is a paranormal book. I genuinely could not find a single paranormal book on my shelves that was written by a Black author. So I decided to continue on with the series, and I'm going to be reading Lover Unleashed by J.R. Ward. That is the 9th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Is this book over 500 pages? Yes. Am I terrified? Yes. But it's the next book in a series, and if I don't get to all these books, you know what? It's fine. We're just here for a fun time, so hopefully I can get to it, and hopefully I love it. Spin number 10. Lots of I's. I-20. 20 is a 2022 release. For spin number 10, we got 20, and that is a 2022 release. And for that, I chose American Royalty by Tracy Livesay? I'm butchering that, so sorry. But this is a romance written by a Black author about a rapper named Duchess who is about to have the career launch that she's been dreaming for, but some publicity and puts her in a bad light, and it's now on the line. And then it also follows Prince James, who ends up having to deal with Duchess for some reason, and they end up having a relationship. I don't really remember why they have to have a cordial relationship, but they do, and they end up falling in love. It sounds cute. I'm excited for it. Hopefully I like it, but I'm in the mood for more romance. I haven't really been in the mood for traditionally published romance, but hopefully the 2 that I have on this list will hit the spot. What could be our second to last roll? Spin number 11. Another I. I-19. We have another one on the board, but still no bingo. I-19 is Special Edition. Spin number 11 got us 19, and that is Special Edition. And for this, I chose This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. This came in an Owl Crate box. It is very gorgeous. It does have some under the cover dust jacket art as well, and I believe it's also signed by the author. I have read the author's other book, Cinderella is Dead, and I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it by any means. And I have a feeling that if I read this one, it's probably not going to be one that I keep on my shelves, and I'm trying to clear up some space on my TBR shelves because I'm out of space, okay? So this is one that I decided to pick up. Hopefully I enjoy it more than the first book that I read by this author, but if not, I'm happy to have read it regardless. And possibly our very last spin, we have spin number 12. I-29. We did have one more on the board, but unfortunately no bingo. And lastly, I-29 is a TBR vet. I'm honestly so surprised that we got through all of those spins with no additional rolls added, but our last one got us 29, and that is TBR vet. And for that, I chose Transcendent Kingdom by Yagasi. So this is one that I've had on my TBR for a very, very long time, probably at least 2 years, and it's one that I've been talking about getting to for quite some time. So hopefully I will like this one. I actually think that Homegoing is on my 22 books to my self-destruct for this year, which I probably should have picked that one. But oh well, I will read this one, and if I like the author's work, then I'll go back and read Homegoing. So I'm excited to get to this one. I believe this is YA. I literally have no idea what it's about, but I heard such good things about it when it came out that I decided to pick it up, support Black author. But now I know nothing about it, so hopefully going in blind served me right, and I end up loving it. Okay, so my TBR turned out a lot larger than I had expected, because I'm also missing Jade War, The Savior's Champion, and my J.R. Ward book, which are all over 500 pages. Yep, it's going to be a month, and if I don't come back, you know why. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the books that I'm going to be reading for TBR Knockout and Buzzwordathon, and then we will close up this video. So for February, the TBR Knockout prompts are Black author, and for that I'm going to be choosing Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And then the second prompt is read a book that involves something that's affecting the Black community, and for that I chose When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This features gentrification, which I'm very curious to read about, also racism. So I'm curious to read it. I have not read anything by Alyssa Cole yet. I know she's a romance author, which I'm surprised I have not read any of her works, but I have this one on my shelf. It's been sitting there for a while staring at me. It's written by a Black author, so obviously I want to give it a go. Hopefully I love it. And then the prompt for Buzzword is verb in the title, and I'm going to be reading Dance With Me by Kristen Proby. This is the 4th book in the With Me in Seattle series that I have been meaning to get back to for quite some time, so I'm going to read that one. It's supposed to be short, easy. I actually don't know the synopsis of this one, but they are all pretty light romances, heavy steam, pretty easy to read. It's mostly just a quick, fun read for me, so hopefully I will enjoy this one as much as I have the rest of the books in the series. Alrighty, that is the end of this video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. Please send me luck on my TBR books because Lord only knows I need it. Let me know if you've read any of the books I talked about today and what you thought of them. Also, feel free to let me know what books you plan on reading for this month and what you're reading for Black History Month. I would love to know that as well. But that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Keep it nice and steady. Know that you be